Sunstriders, welcome back to another little update, thoughts on whatever you want to call these videos. Well, yeah, whatever you want to call them. But obviously, today we are going to be talking a little bit about FiveM and at least my current state in FiveM and stuff. And as you guys could probably tell by the thumbnail, I have been for the past few weeks been considering, I guess, quote unquote, retiring from FiveM for lack of a better explanation. You know, it's not like FiveM is a job or anything like that, but it's the best way I can describe it. And just retiring from SAF and FiveM in general for a few reasons that have just been compiling up over the past few months, almost a year now at this rate, but I have been struggling a lot in FiveM recently for just motivation or anything like that. And honestly, it just traces back to what happened, obviously, in DOJ. And just how not only myself, but a lot of the other friends that I had made in or in DOJ was treated and such and all that stuff. And I just have not been really enjoying FiveM as a whole recently and all that stuff. And in all honesty, when I got terminated originally from DOJ back in March, I never should have really joined SAF to begin with because I was bitter and pissed and annoyed at what happened in DOJ, and I still kind of am to this day. Right, like things were finally starting to get better in DOJ, and story arcs were progressing, and I was about to become a COC member of one of the gangs after giving up on not really giving up on the Reapers, but just finally coming to terms with my place in the Reapers because you know, by the time I got back off of my mandatory leave of absence last year in DOJ before my termination, everything was pretty much filled up in the Reapers that there was slim chance in hell of me ever getting Enforcer in the Reapers with how quickly it exploded and all that stuff. So I decided to focus on a different criminal organization, which was the Family Street Gang, who were struggling with activity and members because of the previous leaders leaving the community in exchange for another community. And I thought that if I was able to help the Reapers poison, kind of, what do you call it, revive. If I was able to help revive the Reapers poison, maybe I can do the same thing with the Family Street Gang and actually get recognition for it instead of, you know, being forced on a LOA for 2 months and then having all the work I put into the Reapers beforehand be for nothing because I was just kind of left behind and not allowed to actually, you know, not allowed to, I guess, reap the rewards of reviving the gang like the two other people that helped revive the Reapers. Because it was only three of us, technically four of us if you want to count the Civ director, but there were only three like non-COC civs that wanted to revive the Reapers. And of course, they got like Enforcer and all that stuff by the time I was back, and then poor me got forced on an LOA and kind of left behind and stuff. But I was gonna be offered a OG spot for the Family Street Gang so long as I got my hours for the month, because the new leader of the families after the old leaders left, he noticed how much time I was spending in the gang, and he's like, hey, there's a couple of OG spots available. If you get your hours for the month, one of them's yours. And what happened right after that, I got terminated because of my mental health, because obviously, the banner drama and all that crap. I couldn't handle it mentally, or I was struggling to handle it mentally, which eventually escalated to the point of my mental health collapsing, which led to my termination from the community. And after that, I should have just given up from FiveM entirely, because SAF was essentially just a rebound community. Kind of like, how you rebound from a relationship, and then the rebound relationship is like almost as bad as, or maybe not as bad, but definitely worse than the original relationship that you rebounded from. That's essentially what happened with SAF. And I got kicked from DOJ. I got butt hurt and bitter about it, so I joined SAF because I didn't want DOJ or the staff team in DOJ to get away with completely ruining my story arcs and my characters like that. And that's not exactly fair to SAF. And this video isn't against SAF, because they've been nothing but patient and a lot more kind to me, which is infinitely better than what DOJ did with me, right? Because in DOJ, you just get dragged to a staff room and berated for 30 minutes about breaking policy. In SAF, they still take you to a staff room, but then they give you a chance to explain your side of the story, and then, they sit on it for a couple of days and then get back to you with a decision after you've explained your side of the story. So SAF definitely seems infinitely more fair than DOJ was, with all of the favoritism, backstabbing, and fucking other crap like that was going on there in that community. And from the few contacts that I still have in DOJ, apparently things have been getting even worse. Like, rules have been getting stricter, and the civ department is like just getting worse and stuff, and even more people are leaving and all that stuff because of it. So I wouldn't be surprised if DOJ completely collapses in the next few months, to be honest, because fucking it's just the LEO departments just get away with everything, and the civ department gets the book thrown at them. So yeah, that's definitely not surprising that things are getting worse in that community. And it makes me feel bad looking back on it, because it's like, what, the day I got terminated, as embarrassing as it is to admit it, I like fucking cried genuine tears when I got fucking terminated from DOJ. I remember that day specifically because Kai was with me when it happened. We were in the middle of starting a new story arc between two of our characters. She got up to use the bathroom. I decided to see what COC wanted with me, because they wanted to talk to me, and that's when they terminated me. And by the time, even before she sat back down from coming from her bathroom break, I was already in tears trying to explain that I got terminated for a previous scene that I lost my cool on and stuff, which I understand it partly to an extent, because I was still breaking policy and causing issues and stuff in the community, but at the same time, it's like, mental health is a very complicated thing to try and deal with. And just terminating somebody because of their mental health is kind of a shitty move. But whatever happened, happened. I'm more so pissed off at the fact that they kind of ghosted me when I tried to appeal. Like, I tried to appeal a couple of days after it happened. They kind of didn't get back to me, obviously. But even after waiting the 6 months for the, I guess, ban to quote unquote expire, they like ghosted me for months, like 2-3 months afterwards. And when they eventually did email me a response saying I got declined, they didn't even bother putting my actual name in the fucking email, because it's just like a copy paste scripted email that they send to everybody that they deny, and the name is just like a placeholder thing. They didn't even bother changing the placeholder, so it's pretty clear that DOJ doesn't fucking care about me anymore, and they don't want me back and stuff. But hearing how bad it's gotten from a few of the people that I still have contact with, or that maybe Kai still has contact with or something, it's gone fucking worse in there. So yeah, maybe it's a good thing I'm not going back in there. But I still can't believe I wasted 2 years of my life and actually like cried genuine tears over that piece of fucking shit community. I like this is 100% me speaking out about DOJ at this rate. I kind of didn't want to because I still wanted it back in the community, but now that it's pretty clear that I'm not welcome back there and I have no chance of getting back there, and I kind of want to leave FiveM altogether. It's like just fuck DOJ, man. If you all want to get into FiveM and GTA 5 RP, do any community besides DOJ. Like, I'd fucking recommend NoPixel at this rate over fucking DOJ, and NoPixel is a bit of a pay to win thing because you can like pay for admin, I think, and NoPixel, but it's better than what the fuck's going on in DOJ, man. Like, honestly, the staff team in DOJ should genuinely like be ashamed of what the community has become. It's a shell of its former self, honestly. So yeah, like do like SAF, do NoPixel, do anything other than DOJ if you guys want to get into 5MRP yourselves, because DOJ is just full of backstabbing and favoritism. So yeah, but anyway, and another big part of why I want to, well, the main reason why I joined DOJ to begin with is obviously me and Kai being together, and Kai is very successful in SAF right now and all that stuff, and she spends a lot of her free time in there. I thought that I wanted to be successful in SAF too, so we could kind of experience it together and do all that stuff, because you know, me leaving SAF and her staying in there, it's like we lose a big part of, or we lose a big game that we both share and that we both play and we used to play together, right? Before I got terminated from DOJ, me and her were in there almost every day together, and now I'm worried that we might not be able to find anything else to play. But in hindsight, I shouldn't have to force myself to stay in a gaming community in order to keep our relationship alive, and she shouldn't have to leave a gaming community in order to save the relationship either. Right? We should be able to find other things to do and all that stuff. We are going to have our different interests and our different hobbies and stuff like that. It's not the end of the world if I need to leave FiveM in order to benefit my own mental health. And it also allows her to be able to enjoy SAF as well and FiveM as well without having to worry about, you know, me having a mental breakdown or like something small happens in server that causes me to snap and stuff like that. So you know what? I think it's better for both of us if I just take a step back and, you know, focus on things that actually do make me happy and that I enjoy doing and stuff like that, because I just have not had the motivation and shit like that in SAF for the past little bit. And a lot of it has to do with the type of RP as well. Like, I want to say I'm a part of a friend group in SAF, but honestly, I feel like people only tolerate me and include me in the friend group because of my relationship with guys sometimes, right? Because a lot of the friend group doesn't do the RP that I want to do, right? They want to do criminal RP, they want to do, like, they want to cause chaos, run around as characters, bugging cops all the time, or just, you know, genuinely causing chaos, or straight up doing criminal RP. And it's like, I'm not 100% against criminal RP, I just prefer more passive RP, or business RP, or just general story building instead of always doing criminal stuff. The only time I really do criminal stuff is for the benefit of the story, like when I'm playing as Victoria or Jessica doing Lost MC stuff, right? Because the point of doing criminal stuff with the Lost MC is to advance the club and promote the club and all that stuff. But other than that, I don't really like running around causing chaos just for the sake of causing chaos. I'd rather run around as G6 or Weasel News or something like that, and just not a lot of people want to do that. And most of the time when I'm doing that stuff, I prefer to be alone anyway. when I'm in server, the most fun I have is by myself, doing my own thing. And at that rate, I might as well just try re-downloading LSPDFR. Because at least LSPDFR is a single player experience, and I can mod it however the hell I want and find my own fun with it without having any rules or anybody else try telling me what I can and cannot do to have fun in the game. Because it's single player. Right? Trying to tell somebody how to have fun in a single player game is fucking pointless and stuff. And I do understand that, the rules and all that stuff exist, so it doesn't turn into a GTA Online server. And SAF does have a decent amount of freedom compared to like the 2 or 3 other communities I've been in, but still, I think that I might, if I enjoy being by myself more than I enjoy doing group RP and hanging out with other people, then it's like, what's the point of being in the community if I'm just going to be isolated to myself all the time? But it doesn't help the fact that business RP is a little bit, I don't want to say neglected, but it's definitely not as popular as criminal or just general, dicking around or causing chaos stuff like that in SAF. And that's not exactly any fault of the community. There are people who try to start businesses and do stuff like that. It's just that there's not a whole lot of people in the community to begin with, and the influx of people isn't as great or impressive as a community like DOJ, which is a 24/7 community. Right? SAF is not as big, and not as big of a community, and it's also not a 24/7 server. It only happens, patrol only starts in the evening, stuff like that. Which again, it's not really fault of SAF. It's just that the fact that the community isn't big enough to support 24/7 servers, because running servers 24/7 costs a lot of money, I imagine, and a lot of maintenance and shit like that. Oh, sorry. And it's just that when people try opening up a new business, sure, you get some people interested, but a lot of people are already preoccupied with their own story arcs and their own stuff to do, that there's simply not enough time in patrol to branch out and do all that stuff. Right? People are already established. Friend groups and RP groups and business and other stuff is already established, so there's simply just not enough time in patrol to actually commit to all that stuff. Because people have their own stuff that they're focusing on, which is what a shame. Like, I'm trying my damn best, or at least I was trying my damn best before making the decision to quit, obviously. That it doesn't help that most of the time when I open up a business like 24/7 or G6 or anything like that, is either absolutely nothing happens for the whole patrol and I just spend like an hour or 2 hours just doing nothing, twiddling my thumbs, trying to make something happen, or I get shot, robbed, kidnapped, or otherwise harmed or screwed with 40 minutes into the episode and my motivation is just killed. Or it's like, well, I got robbed or I got shot again, so might as well if I can, end the episode and go switch to a different character so that character can recover or something like that. Right? Because I do play it kind of realistically like that, where if a character ends up in the hospital or anything like that, then I do probably either quit playing altogether or swap characters to let them recover from it and all that stuff. So, yeah. And it gets kind of annoying all the time where I open up a business and just get screwed with because, and again, that's not really the fault of the community. That's just the fact that business RP isn't that popular. So when people see a business open, they're like, "Oh, hey, that business hasn't been open in a while. Let's go ahead and give them something to do, if whether that be a robbery or a fire or whatever." And it just feels like that me being a primarily business RPer, I'm just kind of preyed upon by everybody else in the server and used as the server's punching bag. That's simply just what it feels like. I know that's not the intention what people have. The intention is more to create interaction in the first place. But it does get difficult where it's the same thing happens almost every patrol. And because of, and I've had people, you know, whether they're joking around or being serious or not, people have told me that they, you know, actively hunt down or are actively assholes to people like G6 or Weasel News just for existing. And it's like, okay, I get it. G6, Rent-A-Cops, ha ha, funny, but we're just doing a job, man. You know, if we're doing a business detail and the clerk of a 24/7 asks us to escort you off the property, why can't you just take that, man? Why can't you just take the L and move on with your day? Why do you gotta plan a fucking drive-by attack 10 minutes later because your butt hurt you got kicked off the property by a rent-a-cop? Like, why? Why? That the fucking knowing that I'm going to get screwed with and hunt down every patrol when I'm playing as G6 or Weasel News or something like that makes me not want a patrol to begin with, you know? I feel targeted just for existing. Like, leave me alone, man. What did I ever do to you? So what? The rent-a-cop told you to get off the property because the clerk doesn't want you there anymore. Boo-hoo, suck it up, move on, right? You don't have to fucking plot an entire assassination attempt just because a mall cop told you to buzz off because you were being annoying, you know? Like, that happens so much in fucking DOJ. Like, got infuriating. It hasn't happened so much in SAF, but I still have had people in SAF either joking around or not telling me they were like going like they always like they hate G6 or hate Weasel News and they always want to like cause shit and kidnap them and hurt them just for existing. And it's like, why, man? Come on. Like, that's the main killer for my motivation right there for business RP. That's why I don't patrol as businesses a lot. And when I do, at least when I patrol as G6 and I do the transport with the job systems and the shippers Discord and all that stuff, I half the time, like, I will say that I'm active as G6, but I won't say exactly what I'm doing so I don't get targeted. And it's like, you're defeating the whole point of roleplay if you don't announce the fact that you're doing stuff and give people the option to interact with you. But I also don't want to be interacted with if all of the interaction I'm going to get in server is negative. I've tried explaining that before, but I just get told off and stuff, you know? I get told off, or it's like, you know, or I get told not to complain a lot because it's against policy and I shouldn't do it and I'll get in trouble for it. And it's like, I'm just voicing my opinion, man. It may sound like I'm butthurt and complaining, but I'm just trying to speak the truth, man. And I wouldn't be surprised if I'm not the only one that feels this way and hasn't voiced their opinions either because they're going to get, you know, shot down by COC not to make comments like that because it's against policy and stuff. But since I'm leaving FiveM anyway, I'm not too concerned about, you know, making those types of comments anymore. If people get butthurt about me saying that stuff, then fucking womp womp. They can suck it up and deal with it because it's not like I'm going to be around anyway. So, yeah, those are just some of the reasons, compiling reasons, that have just made me not want to be in FiveM anymore, and it feels more like I'm being forced to and all that stuff, because I know some people have tried to sell me that they do want me around and all that stuff, and they do miss having me around in server, but honestly, I don't miss server. I don't miss being in server, because every time I am in server and I'm doing group stuff, I feel forced to do it and endure it, because it's always what everybody else wants to do. It's never what I want to do, right? I offer to do something, people tell me off, or they're, you know, they're too busy with their own story arcs, or they're not in the mood for that type of RP, and I'm just forced to do it by myself anyway. So it's like, at that point, I'm better off trying to get LSPDFR working again. I'd rather deal with LSPDFR not wanting to work than people, you know, shit talking my RP stuff and, you know, just refusing to do RP with me and stuff. So it's like, I've tried making it work multiple times before. I've tried just, you know, rolling with the punches and going on again, but it never gets better. As soon as I start feeling decent about something, you know, feel comfortable to try to start branching out some more, something else happens. I get held back. You know, I'm not allowed to do this, I'm not allowed to do that because of my, mental health making me unstable in server and stuff, and then I get held back and I'm not allowed to branch out or go to a different department and all that stuff, and then that's just fucking ground zero all over again. So I think for the betterment of my own mental health, and so I stop dragging everybody else down around me, I need to do this. Right? Am I gonna feel sad making this, or do I feel sad making this decision? Absolutely. Am I gonna regret it for a little bit? Probably. But you know what they say, it has to get worse before it gets better. And maybe in a few years, when I finally get my life sorted out, I can try this whole shebang again, right? Either with FiveM or maybe 6M if GTA 6 ever gets released and people learn how to mod the hell out of that game. So long as Rockstar actually allows it. But yeah, maybe I can try again in a few years when I finally get my life in order. But for now, I don't see it happening for the foreseeable future, or I don't see it working out in the foreseeable future. So, thank you guys for enduring my rant here. And for those of you who do leave the channel, unfollow the channel and sub from Twitch and all that stuff because your main focus is FiveM content and you move on to other SAF content creators. I understand and stuff, but for those of you who stick around, I hope you do enjoy some of the other content that I will still be putting out. I'm not quitting content creation altogether, I'm just benching FiveM for now because I'm just not feeling it. I'm not motivated. I'm not having fun. And this has probably been a long time coming, and a lot of people in the past have tried telling me to get rid of it. You know, like my non-SAF friends, some of my viewers, and even my parents have told me that I need to get rid of it. So it's like it's been a long time coming. And to summarize everything, a year and a half ago, FiveM was just another part of my community and another part of my channel. After the banner drama hit, it became essentially an addiction that I was desperately trying to hang on to. And it's just affecting my mental health and dragging everybody else down around me. So I think it's finally high time that I throw in the towel and just move on to other things that actually make me happy and that are more important to me right now, currently in my life. So hopefully you guys understand, and that's all I really have to explain my side of FiveM and what's been going on recently. Finally get it off my chest and just put it to rest and just move on. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the FiveM chapter while it lasted, and I hope you guys stick around for future content going forward. But until then, thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.